Let's see if YouTube catches up. Okay, YouTube. All right, everybody, we are live. What's going on? Oh, wait, we didn't cue the music. Here we go.
Cue the tunes.
Doesn't like a Saturday morning build with the dad. Scared people to jump on it now. Hey, we got someone live. What's going on? All right. You guys aren't going to be able to hear anything unless I turn it down. Oh, what's up, Chad? Wow, the Chad Woolner is on. It's nice to see you on. How's it going? All righty. What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson. We got quite a few viewers jumping on with YouTube, and then a whole bunch, how's it going, Chad, with actually Facebook Live. How's it going, guys? Hey, so today we are going to build an Ask campaign for my dad. Now, my dad's got this cool product that he's coming out here with soon. Helps with futures trading. And I was like, hey, I'm going to help with the webinar. So we've been going through the past little bit back and forth and building out this webinar. So let me share my screen with you real quick. And there's my dad. How's it going?
Morning.
Let me turn it up so people can hear it.
There you go. Good morning.
There he is. That's my poppy, everyone.
All right. Happy Saturday.
Oh, what's up? We got Brian Bowman on here. We got several coming on YouTube. Cool, guys. This is awesome. Got my little tripod thing. These things are awesome. You guys are on it. For those of you guys on Facebook. Mark Call, what's up? Wow, Mark Call. Ryan Montgomery. Man, uh-oh. There's all these Titans and Giants on this thing. I'm actually a little bit nervous now. Well, you guys, so what we are going to do today then is build Ryan Leveque's Ask campaign. Now, we have done a whole bunch of stuff already to get my dad's webinar set, but last week, I built Jeff Walker's product launch for me, and I was like, you know what? It's time for me to go build Ryan Leveque's Ask campaign. We're at this point. So what I want to do is first I want to show you the strategy. I want to show you guys how I came to this realization. Now, I went to college back in this place where 40 degrees, negative 40 degrees was like the norm. And if you didn't like dry your ears from the shower in the morning, your ears you could like break them off. It was awful. And just woke up. This better be good. Dude, this is gonna be great, Ryan. You're gonna love this, all right? It's gonna be epic. Okay, so, but I was walking around, and one semester in college, what happened is they get you in this whole semester where all you have to do is make as much money as possible. It's the coolest business program I've ever seen. There's only 3 of them like it in America. And you do no other classes except make as much money as you possibly can, however you want to. Well, the only rule is you have to stay on campus. And so you're trying to sell poor college students. You think about how hard that is. And we were all going together and we were saying, okay, what are we going to sell? What are we going to sell? And they put me in the food industry. And I can't stand the food industry, guys. It drives me nuts. Like oh man, no offense to any of you guys who actually like that stuff, but I just can't stand the food industry. Like I would never want to do business of that. I love what I do. I love the internet. I love selling products and things like that to people, but food, not my thing. So I actually was super bummed. And what made it worse is there was a group of about 15, 20 of us, and they're like, okay, Steven, you are going to be voted as the CEO for this thing. And I was like, crap, like I'm in this industry that I hate, and I am the CEO, which means I'm going to be driving this boat. And I remember we were walking around, I was like, what the heck are we going to sell? You know, and it was the first day. And I was like, what if I just asked people? That's kind of a crazy thought. And so I went in and I started, we put together this huge, long, actually it wasn't that huge, but we put together this really in-depth and extensive little survey. Actually, it's one question. We walked around and we said, hey, what do you want to buy? You know, what food do you want that you wish, that isn't here? And we collected all this data, and it was kind of awkward, asking people, stopping them. And turns out everyone wanted empanadas. Empanadas, I barely knew what that was. And all these people came in, they're like, okay, I want empanadas. Like, okay, now they want empanadas. Like, is there a certain kind that you want? So we went back out and we did all this data, all this research. And we found out they wanted like pizza empanadas, carne asada empanadas, like all this stuff that I've never even heard of. I don't even know if I ever even had an empanada at that point. But we were like, hey, who has like an empanada recipe? We looked one up and we started making them, and we started telling people about what was going to come out. And this whole process came, and we kept doing it over and over and over until we were so fine-tuned on knowing what people wanted that when we launched the thing, we instantly started making, we made $1,500 the first week, and then $2,000, and then it was like $3,000, $3,000, $3,000, from poor college students. From $3,000 a week from poor college students on campus the entire semester, and it was nuts. And that's when I realized, like, okay, if I am not my target market, if I'm not the guy who's going to be filling my own wallet, who cares what I think? I don't even like the empanadas we're making. Like they weren't even that good to me, but people were nuts about them. And that's when I'm like, okay, I don't need to fall in love with my product. I need to fall in love with delivering what people want. It's much like what Russell talks about, and what this comes from Tony Robbins. Find a hot market, ask them what they want, and then like give it to them. That's the whole thing with it, right? And so what my dad and I are going to do, and what we're going to set up right now, is Ryan Leveque's Ask campaign. I didn't realize that that's what we were building at the time. And it's funny because I went on and I actually wrote an ebook talking about this process. Oh my gosh, you don't need to make any decisions in business. Find out what people want and then give it to them. And then I found out a little bit later, Ryan Leveque put out that book called Ask, and I was like, I was saying the same thing. Oh my gosh! And I was so excited. And so you know those commercials that are like the inventor commercials. You ever seen those, Dad?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? They're like,
Right.
I thought about roller skates first, and then some guy came out and made them before I did. I could have been a millionaire. You know. That's what I felt like when I first saw that.
I think more recently was, what was it, a couple years ago, that guy brought out those balloons. You hook up to the hose, right? And then
yeah,
50 of them. I think right?
Yeah, so I'm not trying to say that Ryan Leveque stole my thunder, but Ryan Leveque stole my thunder. So anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to build an Ask campaign. What ended up happening is after that semester was over, I went and I started implementing this. It was funny, before I was even in my marketing classes, I started implementing this, and I made this company like $50,000 in a couple days, and I was like, it works for real in real businesses. This is crazy. And it's honestly, it was one of the first funnels I ever built with ClickFunnels. It's what really launched me into this industry, and I realized how powerful they are. And a lot of you guys don't know that about me. That's a little bit of the way that started, a little bit. And so that's what we're going to do. And so my dad and I have gotten to this place. He's got this awesome product that he's built for the futures markets, and he's doing great with it. But we want to make sure that what we create, the education piece behind it, is actually answering the correct questions. And so what we're going to go do, yeah, make it mojo is what Scott says. Yeah, we're gonna make mojo right now. So what we're going to go do right now is we need to go gather data, just as much of it as possible. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm first going to show you guys, though, the campaign I ran that eventually led to me helping this company make $50,000 in a couple days. And let me flip the camera around real quick here. I got this cool like iPhone. You guys are seeing it right now. It's this cool like iPhone camera tripod thing. It's like $10 on Amazon. Totally worth it. Comes with a little Bluetooth remote. Okay, let me flip the screen around. You guys see my double chin. Okay. All right, cool. Let me flip this around too here. So I'm going to share my screen with you. First, honestly, you don't need intense software to do this. I actually started doing this with Google Forms. It's free. I did it with this company called Echo H2 Water. And by the way, if you guys have any questions or anything, I don't want to just monologue the whole time. So if you got any questions or anything, just let me know. Ryan just asked if we're in the new office yet. No, we are not in the new office yet. We Water. And by the way, if you guys have any questions or anything, double feedback. Okay, there we go. We'll be in the new office in like 2 days. So we're super pumped about it, but we're actually in the middle of packing up. So we might get interrupted here. There's a lot of people here who are coming in. So anyway, this is the campaign that we did. And this is the campaign that we started. And what I realized, way back in the day is this concept. And then what I learned from Ryan Leveque was the best way to order the actual questions. So Dad, can you see my screen?
I can.
Cool, okay. Had issues with that last time. Okay, so honestly, here it was. It was for a company called Echo H2 Water. If you go to their site, I built both their site and then tons and tons of their funnels. And it's great. I mean, it works out really well. You can build full websites inside of ClickFunnels, and then there's just tons of these little side hooks, from the front page that leads to a beginning of a funnel. And that's how you can set this up inside of ClickFunnels both a full site and funnels. But anyway, what I did is I said, hey, it's a health company. I said, what's your #1 biggest health question? Oops. What's your #1 biggest health question? There it is, or health concern right now, right? And then we want to go broad. We want to ask something to these people that lets them barf. You know, the majority of the time when we build funnels, now the reason I'm bringing this up is because the majority of the time when we build funnels is we want to be able to have low barriers to entry, right? Or it depends on the market you're in, but we want to be able to have these, right? The first squeeze page leading to the next page, leading to the next page, and kind of, I call it friction, is increasing friction as you go along, right? Fewer and fewer people are making it down the funnel in the pipeline. But it's actually the opposite with these ask campaigns. We want to flip this. So imagine it was going the other way. We want to go really broad, but ask this question that brings a lot of big data in. I hope this is making sense. What I'm saying is we don't want people to just answer simple questions at the beginning. We want them to brain dump the very first question. So this very first one is a long, you see I have it put here as a long answer text. And then we go into tighter questions where they're just choosing little bullet points, you know, bullet points. So the majority of people are not going to take the entire survey. So we want to get the best data we can, the very first question that's asked. So right here, say, hey, what's the #1 health concern? And then I go into a little bit more narrow. Okay, now let's figure out who actually took this survey, right? What best describes you? Do you currently have a diagnosed health problem or do you not? You know, do you currently take drugs from a homeopathic doctor, from over the counter? Do you, we wanted to learn about who is actually taking it. How much money do you spend every single month on your actual medications? Because then we want to know how much money we could pitch these people without it being crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then I went in at the very last, go, hey, thanks for whoever's loving this. And then the very last questions I said, hey, what's your primary health goal? Because now that's a little bit different than saying, hey, what's your biggest challenge, right? Then I said, what's your biggest goal? So now they know where they're going, where they are, where they're going. Call this Hell Island, where they are. And then Heaven Island is where they want to go. And then this very last question is, lastly, I might ask a few of you guys some more in-depth questions. Is there any way I could contact you if I want to? And it was so crazy, guys. We got 157 responses just by putting this in the Facebook group and sending an email out. And the data that we got back from it was invaluable. It was so cool. Now I knew how to speak to these people. Now I knew how to market to them. And I showed these guys, I was working for free. I was doing just like Russell said. He had no idea who I was at the time, but I was doing just like he said, and proving myself. Now I could go back to him and say, did you know that the majority of people only can spend an average of $50 a month? Why are you pricing your stuff so high? I bet you could get more people on your continuity programs. And they were like, oh my gosh. And we went out and we changed this and we could increase their overall cart value like crazy. But look at this. Look at the responses right here. Look, 157, the very first question, right? And there's some data that popped out here with it. Next question, another 157. But then watch, you'll start to see it start to drop. Right, 125. Then wow, it's kind of weird. It goes up to 126. Then it goes to 71. It drops a whole bunch. And anyway, pretty interesting. So do you guys get what I'm saying? Is this making sense? I'm gonna trial close you like Russell. Are you guys getting this? Are you guys seeing how this could work in your business? Are you seeing how this could increase your revenue?
I'm seeing it.
Go ahead, Dad.
I said I'm seeing it.
You're seeing it. You're seeing it. Awesome. So this is what we're going to do for my dad. We're going to go in and we're going to create an ask campaign because we've hit this point in his funnel. Let me show you his funnel. We built this awesome funnel out. T-shaped survey starts broad, then immediately goes narrow. Exactly. T-shaped. Thanks, Ryan. That's the phrase. But we've built this webinar where he should break even on his ad cost. I mean, ridiculous value. But now we just need to make sure that what we've been thinking is not our own thoughts. So we're going to go in and we're going to create an ask campaign. So the first thing I want to do is I want people to at least land on somewhat of a branded page. Yeah, how cool is that? So I want to create a branded page. Now you can use like Google Forms. But I already pay for Wufoo, so I'm going to come in and do it here as well. So let me come in here real quick, though, and I'm going to just add in a new page, and we'll call it Ask, the Ask campaign. And I'm just going to have the path be ask. So I'm just gonna add a new page inside of ClickFunnels here. All right. Oh, you know what? Crap, let me kill this. All right, what I'm gonna do instead is I wanna keep the same branding without going in and redoing all this. So I'm actually just gonna take the coming soon page and I'm just gonna clone the thing. All righty. And what my dad and I have been doing is we've been going through and we've been figuring out what we want to ask people. So I'm gonna come down here, financial investing secrets. We'll call this ask. The ask campaign. Now remember, when you actually go in the publishing section here, you're only naming that funnel steps. You gotta come inside here, the gear, and do all the same thing here. It's actually name the page. It's very useful for the split testing. Guys, Ryan Montgomery is on this right now and it's making me nervous. If you guys don't know who he is, pretty much builds the back end of ClickFunnels. So he's the ClickFunnels CTO. I'm all nervous now, hot and bothered. What, Liz Tennyson's on here too now? Man, now I'm getting real nervous. All righty. All right, okay, so now we have this page created. Let me go in and edit it real quick. So we're gonna create this and set this thing up, and then let's set this up similar to how we did over here because we know it worked. Future teaching questionnaire. All right, so I'm gonna come inside the actual page itself. What's up, Brian? And Heidi, wow, and Kenny. Man, Kenny Stanfield's here. Guys, a lot of you guys know I'm LDS. We went on a 2-year mission. Kenny and I we spent a lot of time together. This is crazy cool. Okay, so I'm gonna come in and this is the page I'm gonna come in and remake. Biggest financial challenge. Biggest, what should we say here, Dad? Biggest trading?
Yeah, I would say, so this is the very first question, right?
Yeah, so I'm just naming the page itself.
Yeah, what's your biggest trading challenge? Or maybe even back it up and what's your number one question about growing your investment capital?
Number one question / challenge about
growing your investments or growing your investment capital.
Yeah, about growing. About what about trading the financial markets?
Yeah.
I'm just going a little more broad here.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm using the old editor just out of habit. The new editor is fantastic. You guys should all join it. All right. So what I'm going to do then is you guys remember last time I went through and I grabbed this blue color and went through Palatine and I showed you how to grab an accent color that will naturally look good. So I'm going to keep this. What I want to have happen though is, so excited for this element. Yes, the survey element is almost out, you guys. I wish I was using that right now, but I'm not. So there's a new survey element that will be out here soon. All right, so what I'm going to do is this is a new Wufoo form. And you know what, actually I'm going to toss in this question here is the first question in my Wufoo form. Now, Wufoo, I can't remember their pricing. Okay, let's call this the financial. All right, your financial market questions. I can't remember if they see this or not. So I'm going to go inside here, inside of Wufoo, and then I'm going to add in a, need a big, long, I got text. There we go. Some things is rough to try and do on live camera. Oh man. Survey element. Ooh, can't wait. Maybe I let the cat out of the bag. I'm not supposed to talk about that. Jay, yeah, Romero and Philip. Yeah, the survey element inside of. So this is a different survey element. Maybe I'm not supposed to say anything else, but it's gonna be legit. Just so you guys know. Okay. So what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna come inside here and say. Okay, we're gonna grab. Okay. Let me grab inside here, single line text. There we go. I'm gonna toss it. What's your number one challenge about trading financial markets? Let's kill this. That's just a paragraph, not actual input. We'll put it large. We'll put it so that they can, we'll put a max of, actually you don't want to really put a max. If you've ever read Ryan Leveque's Ask book, he does a great job of showing you how you should lay out the actual questions. And he says it right at the beginning. He's like, do not cap how much they can write that first question. You're gonna do a deep dive. This is also called the deep dive survey, what I'm doing right here. So, meaning I'm deep diving into my industry before figuring out what I should deliver to them. All right, so we got this first question here. Now the second question we ask is we want to start segmenting these people. So it says, you know, which of the following best describes you? And we go into, hey, you know, is this diagnostic? I'm sorry, are you currently diagnosed with some health challenge, or do you currently have no health challenge? You're just being careful. And so what I was wondering is, let's ask the question: are you currently trading in the markets? Or are you wishing you could?
Yeah. Because one of the questions that I know is on my mind is, what's your current trading skills, right? Are you trading at all? How would you rate yourself? Maybe that's a way to say it. I don't know. Do we have them sort of self-rate, like, you know, I'm a newbie, or I've been doing it for a few years, or I'm an expert? Or do you leave that free form text, or I see you've got the bullet points there.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm thinking we ask these questions is, this first one is, you know, what's the biggest challenge? Next one is, are you currently active in these markets? The next one is, you want them to rate themselves. I went through with, and I started going through and basically funnel hacking a ton of the top converting quizzes that are out there. And Russell sent a whole bunch to me. I went and I found a whole bunch, and I took all of their quizzes and I printed them out, and I took them side by side. I love quizzes. I think they're awesome. So I took them side by side and I put them all across a whiteboard. And then we started really clearly seeing all the commonalities between all the top converting quizzes. And one of the things that we want to do is, so we'll ask a question where they go through and they're saying, hey, you know, could you tell us your biggest challenge? And then we want them to start self-identifying afterwards. So that's kind of the phase I was thinking of. So what's your biggest challenge? Next one, are you trading in the, are you currently trading? And then number three, how good are you? Is kind of what I wanted to ask. How
good are you? That makes sense. Do you, so there's also questions I have in another area, which is something about their time commitment, right? So you know, how much time do you think you could allocate to trading every day? Or another would be, what's your nest egg like? Not talking about your personal, but talking about your investment nest egg. Like, you know, you think you're gonna put out $1,000 to trade, or, you know, something like that.
Oh, you know what? That's actually similar to the next question. Let's do that. Cool. Okay. I'm just copying the questions over from the form that I know worked. Gotcha. Just come over here and grab in. Now, you guys on Facebook, you guys got any questions or anything while I'm doing this stuff here? I don't want to be Mr. Silent, as in not looking at what you guys are saying. Hey, Liz and Ryan, I don't have editor V2 yet. Any idea when it will roll out to everyone? Hey, you actually can go get the V2 editor already. I think if you go to, Rustin, we were just talking about it yesterday. I think it's still up. ClickFunnels Christmas, or yeah, clickfunnelschristmas.com or something like that. It'll show you how to update it. It's literally like 2 buttons that we ask you to go click, and you can get the new editor for ClickFunnels. So, okay, so what the following best describe, how much money do you spend? And then after that, we might as well ask them what their goal is.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be great. What's your primary goal? That's kind of another long form. The other thing that you learn in Ryan Leveque's book, Ask, which is kind of funny because I'll give you guys my honest opinion of that book. The concept, fantastic. The way he laid out his book, man, he doesn't get into anything juicy until like page 80. It's this massive story at the beginning. And Russell always says, you know, hey, you got to go in and, you know, tell a lot of stories, you know, but there's a point to him. And it felt like he was just kind of dancing all over the place. Anyways, so this last question, Dad, you know, it says, hey, I might try and follow up with you just to make sure I understand your response. So we put that in just to make sure, you know, name, email, phone, or Skype. We put this in so that we can follow up with people. because we want to deep dive, and there's going to be some scenarios when we don't understand what people said, or the response was so good, maybe there'll be a great testimonial in the future if we make them big. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm going to toss that in. But anyway, with Ryan's book, though, it was good, the concept that he's teaching, but it was like the last third of the book that was actually the nitty gritties on how to pull this stuff off. The rest of it drove me crazy. Oh, man. The first part, yeah, Philip said the first part gave me a headache. I know, that's totally what we were talking about over here, too. It's like it's great, great information, but it took forever to get to it, you know. All right, so I'm going to toss in. We want their name here.
Questions you typically keep the campaign to?
It's just these right here. And the majority of people are only going to fill out the first step, which is totally fine. So,
okay.
Yeah. Because it should collect as it goes. All right. So I'm getting lost back and forth here. I've got mad respect for going back and forth, talking and building at the same time. It's not easy, everybody, so sorry. Hawk just said we just skipped the first part. Yeah, it makes sense. It seems like that was the general consensus for the majority of people who read the book. Like, I'll just get through this. Get us the good stuff. All right, so now let's switch this to the actual campaign that we want. Let me drop in an actual paragraph here. We want to toss in some actual text here that says, lastly, we want to do X, Y, and Z. Should be right. I might need to come in and clean up the stuff afterwards when I know you guys aren't all watching, but this is the basic concept of what I built that worked really well. Okay, what's your number one challenge or question about trading in financial markets? Great, so now they can write there. There's no cap. It should expand downward as they write. Will it let me take out these questions? I don't want them to freak out at the number of pages they're about to see, so I'm hoping that it won't show this. You know what, percentage, let's just do that. Okay. All right. Which of the following best describes you? For the second question, let's have them start self-identifying. So we're going to have them start saying things like, which of the following best, I currently trade, do you want us to be like, I actively trade in the financial markets?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple levels there. There's one that says, you know, am I active as a trader? And then there's the other that says, how long have I been doing it, right? So, I mean, if we have one guy that's active and he's been doing it for a month, we're going to interact with him differently than if it's someone that's active and they've been doing it for 4 years, right?
Yeah, should we say this next one, I let someone else? Because I feel like there's the active financial trader who does it on their own.
Yep.
And then there's like the actual people who are still active. They think they're active, but meaning they just have mutual funds through Scottrade or something.
Right.
And the third category, I've never done anything in the financial markets.
Yeah, and often a way to describe that is, you know, are they really a self-investor or a self-driven investor, right? So the self-driven investor is the one that's taking the responsibility for entering positions and removing them, whereas those that are relying on a third party, those are, of course, not self-driven, right? So
I'm a self-driven financial investor.
Yeah.
Others.
Or sorry, Stephen, let me change that. Self-directed.
Oh, there we go. There we go. I was trying to find another word for that too. Self-directed.
Yep. I'm
a self-directed financial investor. Next one. Others manage my investments for me.
Right.
And then how about the third one? I've never done anything.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm brand new. Let's future pace them a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm brand new to the financial markets. Cool. Okay, so this next question.
Hey, I'm not sure if you're into the editing at this point.
Go ahead.
So I'm a self-driven.
Oh, there we go.
I'd like to thank my college English teacher for that.
All right, I mostly take remedies, only prescribe. Is it so? This we want to start having them basically describe their. See, they describe their skill or their involvement. Now they need to describe their skill level.
Yeah, there's skill level. There's also capital too. Capital levels we want to talk about, right?
Yeah,
so,
I think we'll do that one on. Maybe we'll do this one first. Roughly, how much money do you spend? Roughly, how much money? Should we say how much money do you spend a month? Financially investing?
It's probably more around how big of a nest egg you're willing to invest, right? So I'm able to invest $1,000 or $5,000 or You wanna understand where they are on that. So
Roughly.
that's my investment capital, right?
The thing is, I'm trying to figure out a way to do this without making them feel like they're being vetted to be sold something, you know?
I see. Okay.
Roughly how much do you, that's what I was saying, like, maybe we could ask that by saying, what's the current amount you're spending? What's the current, rather than how much money do you have, you know?
Yeah, I got you. So on the spend side, it's is the spend around, I'm trying to understand your question. Is it around how much am I going to be laying out as an investor each month, meaning either for training itself or for commissions and fees, or what are you looking for there?
What if there's even this will start to give us a rough idea. How much do you invest financially per month?
Yeah, you can try that. Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then the actual dollar amounts, of course, like we should go like 0 to 500, 5 to 5,000, 5,000 to 10,000 kind of thing. Like,
yeah, yep, that's good.
A low, medium, and high. I don't know if those are good gap amounts, but
yeah, no, those are, especially for the target that we're going after, those are about right.
Okay. 500 to 5,000.
Yep. Then you can just say 5,000 and above.
5,000 and above. Because obviously, if they're going for 5,000 above, I mean that's obviously the dream client. You want less clients with more money.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Primary goal. I feel like that's fine.
Yeah.
Primary financial goal. It's this one I'm trying to figure out here. It's this question where we said, I mostly take remedies only prescribed by a doctor. I mean, I was thinking, what if we ask about the vehicle, where we say, hey, the vehicle, meaning what do you currently invest in? So the last one says, do you actually invest? The next one is like, okay, well, in what?
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Okay, so if it was like a,
yeah, so it could be, stocks or options or futures or mutual fund, that kind of thing, right?
Take investments in stocks, bonds, futures, Forex.
Yep, Forex.
How do you do Forex?
Options. It's Forex. Yeah, you can keep the E small.
Okay. Forex, options.
Yeah. Mutual funds. That'll probably be enough. Now, in something like this, Stephen, would we ever make it multi-choice or multi-select? I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Check boxes. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. The little check boxes here instead. Awesome.
So there's another question I had, but I don't know if it makes sense to put in. And it's something about, and when we were talking through some of the hurdles and objections that people have doing, financial markets, one of the things that you and I talked about a couple months ago was, the amount of time that people have to invest, or, well, I shouldn't say invest, to allocate to this on a regular basis. And so I'm wondering if something like that would be helpful, right? Like, how much time can you allocate on a regular or daily basis to do this?
Yeah. What if we phrased it as how much time? Much similar to the how much do you currently invest? We want to ask about their current state so they don't think that they're being sold again. If we said, roughly how much time do you currently?
Yeah, right.
You currently invest financially from how much currently spend investing per month, because then we'll know exactly how their current state. Because it'd be kind of cool if we find out, like, hey, you got a whole bunch of guys who are dying to get into it, but are only spending a little bit of time, or they have several restraints, or
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. So I don't know, what kind of time do you think of?
So yeah, so the particular product, at least initially, that we're going to market with here is really intended for those who can spend time every day. So it could be, why don't we put, 30 to 60 minutes, that would be sort of nice. I'm trying to figure out a range on an intraday level compared to a range that would go across multiple days, right? So it could go 30 to 60 minutes a day. The other might be, once a week. The other might be once a month, kind of a thing.
Yeah, we want to try and find the current state here. 0 to 15 minutes, meaning I'm hardly spending any time doing this as it currently stands. This next one is 15 to 30 minutes. Or is that's probably too broad?
No, that's
45.
Yeah.
45 to awesome. Because the type of trading that you do, you spend probably 2 hours a day on it.
Yep.
Go 1 to 3 hours, 4 hours plus.
Yeah.
You can help break out the actual people who are just loving this and do it already.
Right.
Like part-time, really part-time, and these are like the bareleys.
Right. Yep.
We might as well bring this out to you. Why don't we do 0 to 30 minutes?
Yeah, that's good.
There we go. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so guys, this is not meant to be a woo-foo trial walkthrough. I don't know what to call it. Oh, you know what? We still got to finish this one. Okay, lastly, I may follow up with a few people personally to learn a little more about the situation. Now, remember, everyone who's watching, what we're doing is we're not trying to figure out, hey, are you a good fit for the program? Instead, we're trying to figure out what is everyone currently doing, and then we're going to match a product to what people are currently doing so that we walk in the middle of the river rather than try and change the river. Does that make sense, everyone? So we're going to go in and say, okay, lastly, I may follow up with a few people personally to learn a little more about the situation. Remember, we're not trying to sell them here. If you'd be open to chatting for a few on the condition that I promise not to sell you something. Now, this is taken direct. I took this straight from Ryan Leveque's book, straight from it. I remember sitting, hiding in a classroom with my computer up, learning all this stuff after I'd actually launched it and figured out it worked. And I went in and I was, I still got the book and I was marked to death. And I wrote this straight from it. I remember doing this. Not to sell you something, please leave your name and email below. Also, if you'd like to get a shout out when I write about your topic, please leave your contact information below as well. Thanks so much. Now, what's kind of cool about this setting is you're saying, hey, give me a shout out, but you're also saying, hey, who in the future could I actually use for testimonials when I launch this and they love it? So you're kind of priming the pump in the future as well. So that's honestly, that's all we're going to need to add in here. So none of this is set to required. I know you guys, you can obviously set the stuff to required as you go through. All of it is set as optional, and I'm just going to say as such. You don't have to, but okay, here we go. But over right here on the side, I've not marked anything as required. The only thing that's required is this first one. If they want to move on, they've got to give us the deep dive chunk of stuff. There we go. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Okay. There we go. Cool. All right, so guys, what we're going to do then is I'm going to back out right here, and I'm going to say I'm finished. Actually, I'm going to come back into the form here now that I think about it. And what I want to have happen is after the form's done, I want to redirect them to another page. So what I'm going to do is come back inside ClickFunnels here, and I'm going to clone this page again and have this be the second page that they land on. And it's basically say, hey, thanks so much. I'll reach out to you, or I'll let you know what's going to happen soon. So let me come in and clone this funnel step. And what this is doing is it's going to go through and it's going to map out for us exactly how to lay out this product. We are not going to need to guess how to set any of this stuff up. We're not going to need to guess how to launch it. We'll have a group to launch it to. we'll have a group that is looking for it. They're already invested in this. I'm going to just name it ask-thank you. Let me copy it here, and I come back inside. All right, so that step is now cloned. I'll add it to the funnel just for visual. I wouldn't actually leave it in the funnel when I was launching this thing, but just what we're doing right here, I'm going to toss it in the funnel. So first they come to the ask number 2, or ask number 1, then ask number 2. You drop that in. Okay. Okay, cool. So I'm going to grab the URL of the second page here. I'm going to come drop it inside of the inside of Wufoo right here on the second page here as a redirect. Make sure there's nothing else there. All right, so as soon as they click submit then, down here at the bottom, once they're done, it's going to redirect over to the second page here. And I'm not going to send a confirmation email or anything like that. I'm going to take this out. Dots. I'm not going to do the capicha or whatever it is. Okay. So let's come back over here to, okay, cool. Now, awesome. So I'm going to come here, let's save it. Let's view the actual form itself. Now I want to embed it. So I'm just going to take this piece of code here, and ClickFunnels is awesome. You can just embed with JavaScript. So we'll come back into the this first page, and we'll run this thing. I got to clean it up a little bit still, but all right. So I'm going to add a new element in. Down here at the bottom, there's a custom JavaScript element. Drop in the JavaScript that I grabbed in. Now I don't need this pop color because Wufoo is going to take care of the redirect for me, so I don't need an action that promotes that. I'm going to delete it, but keep this color here. So I'm going to come in and make, all right, what's your number 1? Come in and just make some of these pop just a little bit here. Okay. It's just a little bit bigger. Cool. What's your number 1 question / challenge? Yeah, that works. All right. So let's save the thing and let's preview it. And it should be right in there, and we'll be able to fill it out. All right. Now I might take this thing out because it's redundant and looks kind of dumb. And I'm going to shrink up the sides just a little bit as well because it's a little bit wide for my taste here. All right, cool. Nice. Romero said, nice, I'm loving it. Red Anthem with the strategy. Dude, yeah, you're going to love this stuff. What's cool is that, like, the big realization, the whole reason I wanted to do this is because I wanted to show you guys. I've seen a lot of people who, a lot of people will reach out to me and be like, hey, how do I do this? Hey, how to do this? Do you think people want this? I'm like, I don't know. And honestly, you shouldn't have your own thoughts about what they'll like either. Go ask them. Run a campaign, figure out what they want. Don't try and answer that question on your own because you're not filling your own pocket. They're going to fill your pocket. So see what they want and give it to them. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to do this live. All right. That looks a lot better. All right, let's come in here. I'm going to preview it now. And cool. I'll come in and clean this up, but you guys got the whole concept here. What's your number 1 question? I want to make more without spending more. All right, so we'll go to the next page. Right, see, so the little 14% thing moving. And what's cool in Wufoo too, you can go in and add some CSS to make this look awesome. It honestly will fit our needs though. We don't need to stress about that too much. I want to do these kinds of trading. I spend roughly 30 minutes a day. I spend about 500 to 5,000 a month. It's a pretty big range. We might break that down more. Make Monet. Monet. All right, and I got to take out this block of text as well. It's just supposed to be this statement and then these things right here. sees it's not an email, so that's okay. I'll hit submit. It's redirecting, and let's put a little thank you page in here right after that, and this thing's ready to rock. So let me come in, I'll save again, we'll back up. Makes so much sense, bro. Give them what they want. Love it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You've heard a lot of people come out and say, you know what, I know that they need this. It's like, well, you're already on the wrong track then. Doesn't matter what they need. You can give them a sweet car without a, you know, like, you need a car. Like, cool, well, I want a CD player. So, you know, let's come in and give me that instead. All right, let's come inside, and I'm going to add this in. Let me kill this bottom part. Thank you. Watch your email for my free 6-week masterclass as a thank you. So here's the strategy. You guys ready for this? You might be thinking, what? I'm going to give them a 6-week masterclass for free. The answer is yes. So here is what's going on here. Steve, can you change the next page to a simple next in Wufoo? Yes, you can. You can go in and edit it. And honestly, I can go in and we'll change those things up. I just want to show you guys the actual strategy here as to what we're actually doing. So let me come in and I'm going to save it. Let me pull up just Paint here. This is how all good plans are made. And let me pull up a new page. So here's the whole thing. And this is what I learned from Ryan's book. This is what the realization I described that I had when I was in college that made that $3 grand a week as a student business, 2 students who were poor. Like this is how, right? So first you go out and you figure out what they want, right? So you're gonna come in and say, hey, what do you guys want? And to get people to answer this, what you give them is you say, hey, when you guys tell me what you want, I'm gonna give you guys, just as a thank you, I'll give you my 6-week masterclass, you know, as soon as I've got it ready. So you're collecting stuff, and you try to get a, you know, Ryan says and several others say at least 100 responses, right? Get a whole bunch of responses here. You're getting tons and tons. Well, pretty much what you're going to start to see is themes, and you start to see, okay, cool. Most people are wanting this. They're wanting this, this. And it looks like they want this and this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my gosh, there's 6 things, a 6-week class, what? And so what you can do is you go in and these guys are literally giving you the table of contents for your course, for your 6-week masterclass. And the whole reason that we do this is because now this is a cool 6-week class that that I can give that becomes my $1,000 product on my webinar. So my dad's got this awesome software thing that he built that helps him trade really, high probability trades and futures. Well, now we got to make the education piece for it. Let's figure out what people want. So we know people have a question about this, they got a question about this, and then my dad can go through and go, okay, you got, look, a lot of you guys got questions about this. Now to do that, I got to teach this to this and this. Now I got a map. Now I got a place to go when I create my class, then they want this, then they want this, and what you do is you come back in and now you've got a test group. So you're not going to be risking any kind of, you're not going to be risking anything. Now I can go in and say, okay, now I got the 6-week masterclass that they told me that they wanted. And now I can take this and I'm going to drop it to those 100 people that gave me responses. And guess what that's going to do? It's going to give me testimonials. So now when I actually get this thing ready, when my dad and I, when we go and we get this webinar ready for the remainder of this actual thing, now we're going to go in and we've got a place to go. And we can get on the actual webinar and say, look, these are real results. This is how we create experts. This is how we create this stuff. So we've created the shell. We've created this awesome webinar. We actually have the webinar script done. Now we're going to go back and tweak it and test it against what we figured out people actually want. So does that make sense? You guys all understand this? Does that makes sense? So anyway,
cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah, dang good stuff, Steve. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, crazy awesome stuff. So we're going in and we just created the actual Ask campaign. So and I'm just gonna wet the whistle a little bit for you guys watching. He has created a sweet software. We can't claim anything, just like we can't claim anything when we're teaching you funnel strategies. These are strategies. We can't guarantee you'll be a billionaire just by doing this. But he created a cool software that makes you trade high probability success rates and do it really, really cool. He wrote it on top of a platform. It's really, really awesome. And so if you have questions about financial markets, go to financialinvestingsecrets.com/ask. Please let us know. I mean, we'd love to know. And you get the 6-week masterclass for free. I'll come in and edit that page here so that it says it. Oh, this is the coming soon page. I'll go in and edit the actual page here so it says that. Hey, thank you so much. In response, for actually doing this, I'm going to go in and afterwards we'll give you guys the actual masterclass for free. And yeah, that's the plan. So we're in this phase. So the shell, and this is one of the things that I'll see a lot of people who are missing when they reach out to me. They're like, I built the funnel, why is it converting? It's like, well, this is really the heavy market research side of building a funnel and what it takes. And this is what we want you guys to spend more time doing. So the great strategy to launch yourself into a market, when you know stuff. So anyway, that's where we are. So I'll go in and clean it up, but honestly, in all reality, we would love to know. If you guys got questions, please go in. If this is something that you are looking forward to doing. So that's how you execute Ryan Leveque's Ask campaign in this scenario. And this is how you actually go in and get that going. So think about, okay, I'm really good at X, I'm really good at Y or Z, but I don't know how to structure it. That's been one of my biggest questions. I don't know how to structure. I don't know how to go and actually put this stuff together in a format that's digestible where people will pay me money for it. Well, this is how. Just ask them and then give it to them. You keep it really simple. And then you can go create videos and create all the things you want to. George Bryant just joined, and he's an expert at this stuff. He creates courses like a beast. Yeah, I'm going to interview you on the podcast, my friend. You're very good at this stuff as well. So anyway, anything else, I guess? You there?
Yeah, I am.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I don't have. I don't know if you're asking me or the audience. No, I don't have anything else. That was awesome. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah. Crazy cool. Thanks to you. And so I might have missed the first part, but who's your initial audience? A Facebook group or blasting out the quiz as a targeted ad? Very good question. So we don't want to incentivize people too much to take this quiz because we don't want anything biased. This is just a survey of people's current state. And so what we'll go do now is we're going to put it out to my dad's list. We're going to put it on Facebook. We're going to call people on the phone if we need to. The biggest thing that we need to is get a good sample size, get at least 100 people who have gone through and answered. And then the fun part, it actually takes quite a while though. The fun part is going through all the responses and you're looking through and you're figuring out, wow, some really intense commonalities here, And you can use Wufoo, which is a awesome paid service. You can use Google Forms, which is free, and it's kind of cool because Google Forms has a lot of data output graphs. So they'll make all these automatic pie graphs for you and all this stuff that shows you the probabilities and stuff. Really cool stuff. That and the first time I did that for that company and was I just used Google Forms and we just sent them straight to the Google form. It didn't look very good, but we found out so much stuff and we learned so much stuff. What ended up happening is I built the tripwire funnel from what we learned. This is again when I was back in college and realized this. And then all I did is I dropped an email to his internal list, his hot list. These are the people who've already given him money before. And a lot of people would go back and say, you know what, I can't make any money from my customer list. They've already given me money. It's like, that's so dumb. No. If they're a buyer, then they're a buyer. They're a buyer, they're a buyer, a buyer. Buyers are buyers, a buyer, right? So go in. If they've bought from you, they've got more money. Do you just have one book on a topic on your shelf or a billion, right? You have 1 million books on the same topic. It's the exact same thing. Of course, competition isn't going to hurt you on this stuff. So if someone just asked, what bait would you like on Facebook to get people into this funnel? Honestly, what I would say is who actually does this really well too? He does it in a little bit of a different format, but it's actually Jeff Walker. In his book, he talks about a concept where he goes through and he says, the headline is always quick announcement and a favor. And so he goes, quick announcement and a favor is the subject headline. And I did this as well. It worked really well. And I wrote that exactly. And I wrote the email that he set out. But all you say in the email is, you know what, I want to know people's biggest questions. I'm trying to deliver value. In response, I'll give you one of my 6-week free master classes. If you could go through and just fill out this questionnaire as honestly and openly and as raw as you can. Just tell me everything you've got questions about, and then I'm going to come back around and I'm going to dump in the 6-week masterclass when it's done for you. Little do they know, they're actually creating the table of contents for that 6-week masterclass. So that's what I would do. And then if you're doing a Facebook ad, you could say the same thing. You know, like, so this is financial investing secrets, right? I could go in and I could say something like, you know, free 6-week masterclass. You know, lead with the benefit, lead with the thing they're going to get. People on social media to hang out, not be sold. So lead with the thing they're going to get, or, you know, my 6-week masterclass training, financial investing secrets, you know, and then on the ad in there it could say, fill out this questionnaire and you'll get this. And then an email can come out automatically that you can trigger from ClickFunnels that says, hey, you know what? I'm going to get that to you as soon as I can. Yeah, Philip, exactly. Quick announcement and a favor. Dude, I have used that so many times. I got an 87% open rate to 500 people using that headline. 87% email open rate. I have never been able to replicate it. It's been nuts. And it was to business owners. But anyways, that's a great headline to use as well. So anyway, that's kind of the things that we'll go do. So the next task that we have is to get this thing out there and push it out there. So if you guys have any desire to be in the financial markets with a system that trades, you know, and there's a system that shows you when to get in and get out on things, and it's high probability trading that's very safe, go fill that out. We'd love to hear, and you'll get the 6-week masterclass course as well. So anyways, guys, that's kind of it. I'm not trying to pitch you, but I would love for, I'd love for you guys. What's up, Chandler? How's it going, man? Chandler Webb, how you doing? Anyway, I would love for you guys to let us know, because we're serious about this, and you can keep following the process that we're doing, and it's one of the safer ways to launch yourself, because people are telling you what they want. So, all right, guys, I got to go. I actually have a coaching call in 10 minutes with someone. So we'll see you guys. I got to head on out, and yeah, Dad, thanks for coming on. This is fun. I'm really excited.
All right, awesome.
Awesome. See you later.
Bye.